Mapping intent to content. Your content strategy should be created by understanding where in the buying funnel the user is when he types in a search query, by mapping his user intent, and by bucketing the searcher into the right persona he belongs to. But why is user intent so important? It's because there is an algorithm that matches user intent with search queries. That algorithm is known as the Hummingbird. One of the metrics that is used to measure the match between the user intent, the search query, and the perfect result is user engagement. However, the ultimate metric that Google uses to quantify if the content on a page matches the user intent behind a search query is called the long click. The following is a quote from the book In the Plex: How Google Thinks, Works, and Shapes Our Lives, and describes the long click. On the most basic level, Google could see how satisfied users were. To paraphrase Tolstoy, happy users were all the same. The best sign of their happiness was the long click. This occurred when someone went to a search result, ideally the top one, and did not return. That meant Google has successfully fulfilled the query. Let's start the mapping process. Tired Jamie is a persona that has been developed for the scenario in which a buyer wants to purchase a mattress. Jamie cannot sleep at night, and she wants to improve her sleep. She finds that old mattresses can cause a poor sleep, and she decides it's time to buy a new one. She starts looking for information on how to choose a mattress that can provide the best night's sleep. She discovers a useful mattress finder tool that recommended foam mattresses based on her inputs. Next, she starts researching which brands are selling foam mattresses and which of their products have the best reviews. She founds Tempur-Pedic, which seems to be a trusted brand by many people, so she investigates their various types of mattresses. Finally, she knows what she wants, and now she is actively looking for that product. First, do your best to map her keyword journey by sorting keywords top to bottom based on the buying funnel. In this example, Jamie starts with a broad search, tossing all night, then she refines it to how to improve my sleep. After finding out that mattresses can be the cause of her poor sleep, she refines her search to how to choose a mattress. Once she found the type of mattress that seems to solve her problem, she starts investigating foam mattresses brands. Once she found a brand that she trusts, she will look for their products by searching for Tempur-Pedic mattresses. This search query contains the brand and the category of products. Finally, she looks for the specific product she intends to buy, Tempur-Pedic Cloud Luxe Breeze. In the second column, you tag each keyword by the most appropriate theme or silo it belongs to. For example, all keywords containing the word mattress will be bucketed in the mattresses silo. Tossing all night and how to improve your sleep don't belong to a specific category of products on your website, so you can assign them to a generic resources silo. Next, map the keywords to the user intent while remembering that a query can have multiple intents. In our example, the first 4 keywords are informational and the last 2 are transactional. Then add the type of content that fits the intent and the search query. Now you need some more details. The URL represents the page you want to rank with in the SERPs. This is the page that you deem to be the most appropriate to rank with. In our example, for the keyword Tempur-Pedic Cloud Luxe Breeze, you will want to rank with the product page. In the anchor text column, you will list the internal anchor text used to link to the targeted URLs. Keep in mind that failing to establish contact and presence with consumers who perform informational queries is one cause of single-digit conversion rates. If you have content for all buying stages and for all intents, you can land a prospective customer on your website at the research stage and then gradually nudge him to the purchasing stage right on your website without having him exit to find answers on competitors' websites. If one of your competitors becomes the trusted source of advice for that potential customer, you've lost the sale. So make sure that you optimize the right pages for the right queries. If the query is informational, you want to rank a page that provides informational or educational content. Likewise, if the query is transactional, you need to optimize and rank with pages that have transactional intent. Keyword prioritization is tough because you need to take into account many and various metrics. The SERP ranking factors are not publicly available, and several metrics, such as competitiveness, come from third-party sources, not directly from the search engines. Therefore, any keyword evaluation model based on rankings factor and competitiveness metrics is subjective. Prioritization methodologies are usually based on factors such as keyword difficulty, search volumes, business goals, margins and profits, conversion rates, or a combination of these. One lesser-known method for keyword prioritization is based on the revenue opportunity of forecasted rankings. This evaluation model determines a monetary value for top 10 rankings using the average SERP CTRs. Note that this model is meant only as a tool to help you identify the lowest hanging opportunities. In this table, you can get the search volume data with Keyword Planner, the current ranking data with the ranking tracking tool of your choice, and the organic visits data using your web analytics tool. The revenue data is also collected from your web analytics tool. You will generate the per visit value by dividing revenue to organic visits. Note that I excluded metrics such as conversion rate or number of conversions on purpose. This is because e-commerce websites have multiple micro and macro conversions. For example, a web sale, a newsletter subscription, reaching a key page, submitting a form, and so on. And this evaluation method is based solely on revenue, not conversion rates. If you want to dig into details and evaluate based on each type of conversion, for example, if you want to prioritize keywords that generate more email subscriptions, then use only the newsletter's revenue data for each keyword and prioritize accordingly. The columns named revenue if ranked 1 to 10 represent the revenue opportunity for various positions if you were to rank organically at those positions. Looking at the revenue if ranked number 1 column, you can see that although the keyword Tempur-Pedic Cloud Looks Breeze is a transactional keyword and has the highest per visit value, it's not the keyword with the highest potential to increase revenue. That keyword would be how to choose a mattress. For this forecasting method, I used the organic SERP CTRs based on research done by Optify. The click-through rates are depicted in this image. The next step is adding keyword competitiveness data. There are a few different methods for assessing the competitiveness of a keyword. The easier ones are the average domain authority or page authority of the top 10 ranking pages and root domains. In this table, I kept the average page rank, but this data is not publicly available anymore. The keyword difficulty score computed by Moz or the CI index from SERP-IQ. Now that you have some quantitative information, you can slice and dice the keyword data any way you like. I suggest analyzing data in sets or themes only. If you mix keywords related to mattresses with keywords related to dressers, your data will be skewed. Also, it's important to find a balance between the forecasted revenue and the costs associated with obtaining the necessary rankings to achieve that revenue. Keep in mind that you will need to produce content, promote it through various marketing channels, and build backlinks to it. All these actions have a cost. Content creation cost is an estimate of how much it will cost to create the content necessary to promote the keyword. Each keyword might have a different cost depending on the type of content you need to create. Creating an article is less expensive than creating a video, which in turn is less expensive than creating an interactive tool or a mobile app. The cost per link is an estimate of how much it will cost you to build one link to that piece of content. This is the costs formula. The number 2 in this formula is a cost coefficient tied to your domain authority. The lower the domain authority, the higher the coefficient. You can use the following brackets as guidelines for adjusting the coefficient based on your DA. If your website domain authority is between 0 and 20, this coefficient will be 5. If your website authority is between 81 and 100, this coefficient will be 1. Basically, the costs formula says that the lower your DA, the more links you need to build to achieve first page rankings. For example, for the keyword Tempur-Pedic mattresses, if your website DA is 65, the coefficient is 2, and the costs formula is as follows. In this formula, number 9 means that you will need to build at least 9 good quality backlinks. Pro members can download the Excel file containing the example formulas from the resources section of the course. Going back to user intent, remember that the ultimate goal of search engines is to provide straight answers for search queries and to provide the best possible results for keyword searches. If search engines fail at this, they will lose users, market share, and advertising revenue. It's therefore crucial for search engines to identify user intent as best as they can. Remember, Google changed their algorithm to focus on this with the release of Hummingbird. Microsoft used to have a publicly available commercial intent detector tool, but unfortunately, it's been discontinued. So you will have to classify the results manually. Whenever you are in doubt about how search engines map keywords to intent, use Google's help to assess what type of pages it returns for a specific keyword. First, log out of all your Google accounts. Then, clean out the browser cookies, open an incognito session, and type in the keyword you want to research. For example, let's take a look at the results for the keyword digital camera. For this keyword, 7 out of the 11 listings are educational resources, and 4 are online retailers. Keep in mind that I counted the image results as just one single result. If you sell digital cameras and want to rank for this keyword, you now know that you have to create great educational resources on your website and promote them heavily on both your website and others' websites. Given the number of informational results for digital camera, it seems like Google doesn't assign a strong commercial intent to this keyword. Then why do e-commerce websites try to rank their digital cameras category URL rather than a digital camera university page dedicated to educational content and tools? Wouldn't a category page create disconnect between the user intent and the content on that page? Imagine you walk into a store to get information about which digital camera best suits your needs, only to encounter a pushy salesperson who tries to sell you the items the salesperson wants rather than what you think you need. You will probably thank him nicely and leave without buying. The same applies to online experiences. If searchers land on a page that doesn't fit their intent, they will bounce. Creating content based on keyword research has to address not only the possible buyers of your products, but also those who will link to your content. That's because most of the people who buy from you will not link to a product or category page. It's possible that customers will share the purchase socially, but linking is going to happen only from people who believe the content they link to is valuable. Buyers think in terms of the value they get by buying the product from you, but those who link to you think in terms of the value they offer to their audience. Let's talk about product attributes and keyword variations. Online retailers often find themselves selling products with a multitude of similar attributes and therefore would like to rank for a large number of keywords and product variations. For example, you sell a sweater that comes in red, blue, and green, and in 3 different sizes: extra large, large, and small. This matrix will generate 9 variations: small red sweater, large red sweater, extra large red sweater, small blue sweater, and so on. In the section dedicated to product detail pages, we will discuss how you should approach product variations But for now, let's just say that creating unique product descriptions for each product variation may not be the best idea unless you have a large budget for content creation. Instead, you should handle product variations in the interface without reloading the entire content. To achieve this, you can use drop-downs to allow users to pick a color and Ajax to load the content specific to that color variation. If you already have unique URLs for product variations, then choose a canonical URL and point all product variation URLs to it. However, if the URLs are clean, don't change the URL structure without consulting an SEO expert. This diagram is a simple decision chart inspired by Moz.